Okay, so what if I told you the secret to less stress wasn't about getting more control, but about actually letting it go? Well, today we're going to dive into a super simple but really powerful mindset shift from author Mel Robbins. It's called the Let Them Theory, and it's all about finding a little more peace by releasing the stuff you just can't control. To really get this theory, you have to understand where it came from. And well, it came from a place of feeling completely and totally stuck. I mean, at 41, Mel Robbins had pretty much hit rock bottom. She was completely overwhelmed, paralyzed by anxiety, and her main way of dealing with it all was just avoidance. Hitting the snooze button, blaming other people, procrastinating, basically anything to not face the giant task of rebuilding her entire life. And that feeling is so universal, isn't it? I mean, we've all been there, trapped by our circumstances, frustrated by what other people are doing, and just completely stressed out by things that are way, way out of our hands. It's such a massive drain on our energy. And this really gets to the core problem the theory is designed to solve. We waste so much mental and emotional energy trying to control the uncontrollable. We try to manage what people think of us, we try to fix their problems, we try to dictate how things should turn out, and it just leaves us feeling exhausted and honestly pretty powerless. So the big breakthrough for Robbins came from a surprisingly common moment of pain. She's scrolling through her phone and bam, she sees photos of her closest friends on a girls' trip that she wasn't even invited to. It was that familiar punch in the gut feeling of being left out. And that hurt was very, very real. But here's the thing. Instead of just spiraling into that feeling, that moment of hurt actually led to this profound realization. It became the birthplace of a whole new way of thinking about life, our relationships, and where our real power comes from. And this is it. This is the big idea, the let them theory. It's a really simple two-part mindset. Part one is all about accepting what you absolutely cannot control, which most of the time is other people. And part two is about taking total responsibility for the one thing you can control, yourself. So think of it like two sides of the same coin. Let them is all about that external acceptance, just disengaging from the drama and the actions of others. But the real magic happens when you pair it with let me, which is all about your internal power and proactively taking charge of your own life. So this first half is so crucial. It's really about learning the art of disengagement. It's about drawing a line in the sand and realizing that other people's actions, their opinions, their choices, they are not your job to manage or to fix. So, what does this actually look like day to day? Well, let them misunderstand you. Stop trying to explain yourself into a corner. Let them have their opinions. You don't have to win every single argument. And let them show you who they really are. Believe me, their actions will tell you everything you need to know. It's unbelievably freeing when you try it. Okay, so this is where you take your power back. Let them creates the space, and let me is what you choose to do with that new space. The focus shifts completely away from them and puts it right back on you. Right after seeing those trip photos, Robins's thinking shifted. She realized, let me be honest, I haven't been reaching out. And let me take responsibility for the kind of friendships I actually want. So instead of gossiping or feeling sorry for herself, she decided, let me invite people to do something. Let me prioritize what really matters to me. See, it's not passive at all. It's incredibly proactive. Okay, so let's apply this framework to a struggle that I think we can all agree drains so much of our happiness and energy: comparison. Ugh, yeah, we all do it. Robbins tells a story about seeing a friend's huge home renovation and just feeling insanely jealous, spiraling into those thoughts like, oh, we'll never have a house like that. It just made her feel like a total failure. But she argues there are actually two types of comparison. The first kind is what she calls self-torture. That's when you compare fixed traits like your height or where you were born. It's pointless, right? Because you can't change it. But the second kind is comparison as a teacher. This is when you look at something someone else has achieved, like a skill, a career, a habit that is actually achievable for you too. And this is the ultimate reframe. Let them have that beautiful house, that successful business, that fit body. You see, their success doesn't take anything away from you. It just shows you what's possible. It's a shift to, let me learn from what they did. Let me use their journey as a kind of formula for my own. So when you boil it all down, this whole theory is about one thing: reclaiming your personal power. It's about shifting your focus away from all that external chaos that you can't control and putting it back on the internal world that you command completely. This ancient Stoic wisdom just captures the spirit of the theory perfectly. Let them is about accepting what happens. Let me is about consciously deciding how you're going to react. Your true power is, and honestly always has been, right there in your response. And this is the final and maybe the most crucial insight of all. After all this talk about letting them be, you start to realize this was never really about them in the first place. It's about you. It's about you taking back your focus, your energy, and your peace of mind. It's about you realizing that you hold the keys, and for way too long, you've probably been giving them away to other people. So this is all about moving from just theory to actual action. Your Let Me era is here. The question is, what are you going to do first? What's that one thing you've been waiting for permission to do or be or create? Your Let Me era starts right now.